China has big ambitions in space. It operates a space station, has sent rovers to the far side of the Moon and Mars, and is now aiming to put humans on the lunar surface. Those voyages begin in the middle of the Gobi Desert in northern China. Just getting here, an opportunity few Western journalists have had, is a journey within itself. It's about 1,200 miles from our base in Beijing. All right, here we go, flight number 2. After 2 flights and about 4 hours on the bus, we arrive at the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center. Access to the Space Center here is rare, and it is sprawling. There are so many buildings, so many streets. It's very reminiscent of a small city or town. We're here to witness the launch of the Shenzhou 17 spacecraft. From behind glass, we met its crew of 3 that are headed to China's space station. Since 2011, the US government has effectively banned NASA from working with China in space, contributing to a 21st century space race with 2 superpowers, both aiming for the moon and beyond. Through its Artemis program, NASA is aiming to set up a permanent lunar outpost later this decade, and China is aiming to set up a lunar research station on a similar time frame. Are there any benefits from this competitive environment?
I think a competitive environment can help us all improve. Exploring space is the common goal for all mankind, so I think if we can work together, it will improve space exploration.
Chinese officials stress they've never sought dominance in space, yet once the International Space Station is retired by 2031, China's Tiangong Space Station may take on new prominence. If China, for a period of time, is the only nation with a space station, how does China benefit?
If they're the only game in town, that's the only way that these countries can participate in human spaceflight.
Russia, as well as some commercial space companies, have space station proposals in the works, but success for any of them is far from guaranteed. China's space program is a huge source of national pride. We talked to China's first astronaut.
Looking at this launch as a veteran, the first thing I see is how far China's manned spaceflight has come. Over the past 20 years, it has developed rapidly and made great achievements. In them, I see the strength of our reserve force and the hope for the future development of China's aerospace industry.
What are the challenges that are unique to the Chinese space program that maybe we don't see in the United States or the European programs?
They have built their own human spaceflight program from zero. Their challenge now is to get the operational experience that an organization like NASA has. We've been operating spacecraft, space shuttles, space stations for decades. That's where they're playing catch up.
We are just minutes away from liftoff. You can see the rocket back there. This is part of this bigger mission to maintain and expand China's space station. With each mission, China can learn more and continue to challenge what has been a long stretch of US dominance in space.